the lion's whiskers. The Tale of Ethiopian Mother. Long ago, in a village nestled among the rolling hills of Ethiopia, there lived a woman who had recently married a man with a young son. Though she loved her husband dearly, her heart ached for the boy's affection. The child, still grieving the loss of his mother, kept his distance. He refused her food, ignored her kindness, and turned away from her attempts to comfort him. Every smile she offered was met with silence, every gesture of love with coldness. The woman's heart grew heavy, for she longed not only to be a wife, but also to be a mother. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains and the air filled with the scent of coffee roasting, she sought out the village healer, a wise man whose words carried the weight of truth. She poured out her sorrow, telling him of the boy's rejection and her desperate wish to win his love. The healer listened quietly, his eyes reflecting the firelight. When she finished, he nodded slowly and said, "If you wish to earn the boy's heart, you must first prove your patience and courage. Bring me a whisker from a living lion, and I will prepare a charm that will help you." The woman gasped. A lion! The very thought sent shivers down her spine. Lions were rulers of the wild, feared by hunters and respected by all. To approach one was to risk death. Yet the healer's words carried a strange power. And she knew that if she truly wished to win her stepson's love, she must attempt the impossible. The next morning, she set out toward the edge of the forest where the lion was said to dwell. Her heart pounded as she walked, each step heavier than the last. She carried with her a small bowl of food, meat, and milk, offerings to soften the beast's temper. When she reached the clearing, she saw him, a great lion, his mane golden in the sunlight, his eyes sharp as fire. He was terrifying, yet magnificent. She trembled, but she did not run. Instead, she placed the food at the edge of the clearing and retreated quickly, her breath shallow, her hands shaking. The lion sniffed the air, padded forward, and devoured the offering. The woman watched from a distance, her heart racing. She returned the next day, and the day after that, each time bringing food, each time retreating a little less quickly. Slay, the lion grew accustomed to her presence. He no longer roared when she appeared, no longer bared his teeth. He began to wait for her, his eyes softer, his movements calmer. Weeks passed, and the woman's fear began to fade. She spoke to the lion in gentle tones, her voice trembling at first, but growing steadier with each visit. "I mean you no harm," she whispered. "I only seek your gift." The lion listened, or so it seemed, his ears twitching as though he understood. At last, the day came when she felt ready. She approached the lion with steady steps, her heart pounding like a drum. She placed the food before him, and as he bent to eat, she reached out with trembling fingers. Slowly, carefully, she touched his mane. The lion did not flinch. With a swift but gentle motion, she plucked a single whisker from his face. The lion lifted his head, his eyes meeting hers, and for a moment she felt a connection deeper than fear, a bond of respect. She whispered her thanks and retreated, clutching the whisker like a treasure. She hurried to the healer, her face alight with triumph. "I have it!" she cried, holding out the whisker. The healer took it, examined it, and then smiled. "You do not need this whisker," he said softly. "What you needed was patience, courage, and gentleness. You have shown all three. Use these same qualities with your stepson, and his heart will open to you." The woman stood in silence, the truth dawning upon her. The lion's whisker was not magic. The real magic lay in the journey itself. Shed, faced her fear, shown persistence, and earned trust. These were the very qualities she needed to win the boy's love. She returned home with a new resolve. No longer did she expect instant affection. Instead, she approached her stepson with patience, offering kindness without demand, love without condition. She listened to him, respected his grief, and gave him space to heal. Slowly, the boy began to soften. He accepted her food, responded to her words, and one day, he smiled at her. It was a small smile, but to the woman, it was brighter than the sun. The struggle had been long, the fear real, and the climax terrifying. But in the end, she had won not through force or magic, but through the quiet power of patience and love. The moral of the story is that true love and trust cannot be forced. They are earned through patience, courage, and gentle persistence.